Oscar. When he was with us, we just called him Big O. He was a heck of a player, heck of a leader for us. Just had to see the league. While Oscar was here at Siegel, he was in the special group. Graduated in 2011, long as you know we're going together. One of the best teams in school history in his 3 varsity years. 82 and 15. Wouldn't do that. Oscar's also the 3rd member in the Hall of Fame here now in that class. They were a special group. We'll try to do this. Sorry, Oscar. When I said Oscar's here was 82 and 15. His junior, senior year, we had back-to-back state tournaments. One of the best 3-point shooters we had. I think he finished out 6 or 7 of the state percentages and numbers. So we had a pretty good 3-point shooter. We had some good height on that team. I think our lowest, shortest guy was our point guard, and he was 6'3". So we had a pretty good group there. In his senior year, we were 32 and 2. Bad thing for him in that group, I forced him to go to the Bahamas one year. I think we went to his sophomore year. We didn't take that road trip to Hawaii. That was real tough. And I apologize for dragging me out that far. That year also, Oscar's senior year, he was all-state, all-region, all-state tournament team. Great guy, great grades, which made it a lot easier for us. I'm not having to worry about somebody in their classes. His senior year, he averaged a double-double. I want to tell this funny story about the go-kart. Oscar was in a little slump, a couple games, he just couldn't get it going. We tried to get him extra shots before practice, during practice, after, just to kind of motivate him to be better. We were coming into a game, I think we were playing Blackman, and came to the locker room, all the guys that had a go-kart in his locker room, had his picture on it, it said missing. Oscar Hopper. Last season at Oakland High School, scored 24 points, grabbed 14 rebounds. If anybody sees him or finds him, please direct him to Blackman High School or anywhere. And I believe that game was for a district title. Oscar showed up, had another great night that night on both ends of the floor, which was excellent for us. After Siegel, he went packed his bags, went to East Tennessee to play basketball and further his education at Maryland College. He finished his career with over 1,000 points. Currently, I don't understand this, but he ranks 3rd all time in Maryland in rebounds. Also, he ranks 3rd all time in block shots. That's really hard to do from the guard position. When you see Oscar come up, you'll understand. He is long as a day dart. You know, he's a heck of a player. After he finished his career at Maryland, he got into law, the good side of law. Graduated from law school. He is currently assistant district attorney in Knox County, if I'm not mistaken. Without further ado, I'd like to bring up Mr. Oscar Hopper.
I had a lot of people advocate. Obviously, being with the school committee, thank you all for choosing somebody like me and really Coach Ryan gave me the ball. He's like, no, we want to induct you into the Hall of Fame. Hospitals, I would have said, undoubtedly probably the most influential with me standing here today, and there was no question who I wanted to introduce me here, because to play basketball at Siegel High School when I was here, and I'm assuming it's still the same way, to have Siegel Nation on a jersey was unheard of at that time. And so to have that pride, the confidence, and essentially that dominant feel drilled into you from day one, there was never a time where Ben Dodson did anything other than what was going to be the best for his team. And for a guy like me, who again had no intention of being on a stage like this, that was invaluable. Now, the milk cart story is true. That was one of my lower points, but it says a lot about a person to know how to motivate someone. And for me to walk into that locker room and see my face with that milk cart, I knew I had to make some changes. But seriously, Coach Johnson, I appreciate you and everything you did for us, because, like you said, I am the third down in the 2011 class to be inducted to the Sports Hall of Fame. We lost, I think you stated 2, I think we lost 3 games that year. One was in the Bahamas, we ended up winning the championship there. But the experience, being ahead of his time, there was no doubt that Ben Dodson wanted his team to be the best. He wanted them to look the best, he wanted them to play the best, he wanted them to think that they were the best. And we were fortunate to be able to show that at some different levels. So I do really appreciate you, Coach, because you had no idea how you propelled me. I wasn't going to play basketball in college, and I always look back at my college career as well, compared to my high school careers. Again, I really cared for it. But I wasn't going to play basketball in college. I went to Maryland for a Christmas tournament. Coach Dawson actually introduced me to a college head basketball coach, and that kind of wrote itself. So again, the amount of doors that Ben Dawson opened for me, I look forward to the day that you stand up here and we can end up being all that they deserve to be here. Again, I appreciate the school, the opportunity. I will always hold Siegel High School very dear to my heart. I appreciate the honor and time to be here. And I will look forward to always reminding people that I went to Siegel High School, I won the Stars, and adding in as the greatest high school in the nation. So, thank you.
All right. Next we're going to have up here is Coach David Watson, who was our first football coach here at Siegel High School, and introduce Chad Davis, who was here that first year, I believe.
Little known fact, Coach Revis was on the first football staff as well. He was our travel coordinator, and he got mistaken in Knoxville as the band. And he was kind of offended. I don't know why we had a great band. That's a true story. First, I want to thank the administration and Coach Lyon for having me here tonight and giving me the opportunity to share in the honoring of Chad Davis. I first met Chad in the fall of 2002 when he was a freshman at Blackman High School. At the time, I was the offensive coordinator there and for the varsity team. And, you know, I could tell by looking at Chad that he was athletic, mature for a freshman, and a good player. And then the next fall, Siegel opened, and Chad got rezoned. Well, back then, just because you got rezoned didn't mean you would have to go there. So with Chad looking like he was looking, you know, the people at Blackman were trying to keep Chad. And I was fortunate enough to get the head coaching job here. I think I was fortunate. It was kind of misery for a while. But Chad followed me over here. I don't know if it was because of me or because he didn't want to have to get a ride to Blackman or whatever. I was very excited to know that Chad was going to be here because, to be honest, we didn't have a lot of guys that looked like Chad. Back then, when the new school opened, they would tell the freshmen and sophomores they had to go, but any older kids could stay at their zone school if they provided transportation. And if you were in a sport, you probably were going to find a way to stay there. You know, you could look at Chad and tell he was going to be a good player. You know, his athleticism and his size were, you know, remarkable, easy to see. But what I didn't know about Chad, those were just some of his qualities. They weren't his best qualities. It was easy for everybody to notice his physical attributes.
what I would find that really set them apart. Chad was a 3-year starter for us at defensive end and tight end. You know, he started as a sophomore, junior, and senior. And he could have played for anybody in the county. You know, he could have played, back then, Riverdale was kind of the team, and he could have played for them. He could have played for Oak, and he could have played for anybody, but he wanted to be at Siegel. You know, you look at all of his honors, all-area, academic award winner, lineman of the year, coach's award, and then we had an award called the Star Award that we felt like was our top award. It was what you wanted your program to look like. You know, who did you want to represent, what your program stood for? And Chad won that in 2005. You know, a lot of times as he was throughout his career, I was worried he'd, get tired of the struggle and go somewhere else. He was our best blocker. He was really one of our best receivers. He was tough as a defensive end, and he played every snap. At the end of the game, he was tired. I mean, he was beaten. So much so that in our first home game in the stadium, Chad didn't leave with his mom and dad. You remember this, Chad? Chad left an ambulance. He got a little hot and overheated, and they had to take him out of here. And, for a minute, we were pretty nervous. But typical Chad, he was back the next week and never missed a beat. I mean, that's just who he was. He was all district, all region, team captain. His senior year, he led us to our first winning season, and we beat Oakland and we beat Blackman. That was a pretty big accomplishment for a bunch of kids that had faced monumental struggles the first 2 years. Chad was a constant. He never wavered, never complained, never gave in a negative. He believed in what we was trying to do, and he wanted to be a single star. I want to quote him, in an email that he sent to me in 2009. Chad doesn't know this, but he sent me an email when I left Siegel, and I've kept that email for 15 years in my email inbox. Chad's a Hall of Famer, not because of his playing ability, but his leadership, his character, and his care for others. This is what Chad said. He said, things didn't go our way at first, but you always taught us to keep driving, face adversity, and overcoming. I could go on and on about my experiences at Siegel because I've led those colors, and I still do today. Chad's a very loyal person, a loyal player, one who was respected by his coaches and his teammates and opponents. He's the type of player and person that makes you glad to get to coach a guy like him. He's always had a supportive family who was behind our program. They were involved in everything he did, and they should be congratulated as well because they're a big reason that Chad is who he is. One other thing that Chad wrote in that email in November of 2009 was this, referencing our winning season. He wrote, "It meant something to us to get the winning record and show how far we had come with what little we had. I think back all the time about my days as a high school football player and get choked up sometimes, to be honest, because of how much I loved it and how much fun I had. Those memories are what I cherish the most. The memories that I have of those 3 years at Siegel is something I will never forget. I wouldn't change going into that situation for a second." And I'll tell you, in this day and age, thoughts like that are rare. No one wants to struggle and persevere and take the hard road, but Chad did had no hesitation. He's a Hall of Famer because of that. He deserves the recognition because he helped build the program here. He put in the work, he got this thing started. He took a leap of faith to be involved in something from the beginning and being remembered for doing something great. And the last thing I'll say before I bring him up here is, I've been fortunate enough to coach for 30 years. I've encountered a lot of players, and to be honest, my mission has changed a lot over the years. My mission as I've grown older has been to try to impact players to be better husbands, fathers, and community leaders. I've stood in front of a lot of teams and stated that honestly, we don't know how successful this team will be or how successful our program is until 10 or 20 years down the road when we see how you turn out as a man. Well, I can say to you that Chad Davis checks all the boxes. He did as a high school kid, and he does now. He's a husband, father, son, friend, and a man who excels excels in our community. He was a great player and student at Siegel High School, and I'm very joyful to present to you Hall of Famer Chad Davis.
These are my co-presenters tonight. Carson and Cooper, they've been asking all week, and even just 30 seconds ago, Dad, please come up here. So, they're here. First I want to thank Coach Watson for introducing me to the staff, for putting this on, my family for always supporting me over the years. Just told my mom just a few minutes ago, if they would have bought me my first set of pads and helmet, and my name would be up there. So, it's all about, one thing I'm learning in my journey right now is just the investment that you make early, especially with the kids, pays off. So, when Coach Wine gave me the phone call, I was very excited, but it immediately brought back just a ton of memories from my time here at Siegel. Like Coach Watson said, we have a history that goes back a long ways, but when I come here and bring my family to a game, or it was just a month or so ago, I was here with my niece, her freshman orientation. It always brings back just great memories, but it's humbling to see what the facilities and the school is now compared to when we first opened. To kind of give you a little history today, me and Coach Watson, we started Blackline, like you said, and when the news came out that Siegel was going to open, I was having a really good year at Blackline, and the coaches approached me and asked, hey, we've got a zoning sanctuary for you to go. All you got to do is take your family, sign it, and stay. And I did well in it for a while because we were coming off a 9-4 season, trip to the state's quarterfinals. So it was a program that was on the up and up. Coach Watson said he doesn't know why I came, but he actually had a conversation with me about how special it is to be a part of something that you can start from the ground floor. I still remember him saying the phrase, you can build that foundation of what's to come. And so after I thought of that, for quite a while, my wife wanted me to come here, but some of the cheerleaders may have gotten here too. I came here to see. And Coach is right, it was not easy at first. Our first spring practice was held at the middle school. We would come in after school from our surrounding high schools, then our practice field, we practice back on the playground. And it was very apparent early on that we weren't going to give Coach Watson all this time to work with us. But our first summer conditioning, the school was not ready yet. It was very behind construction. It was very just back and forth. Is the school going to open on time? What's going to be ready? What's not? Our first summer conditioning and our workouts were held in the English hall. They set up weights in the classrooms, and we lifted weights in the English hall in the classroom and sprint down the hallways down the parking lot. That's what we had. As a kid, you just show up and work out, you sweat, you go home. But as an adult, and as a father, you gain more appreciation for what it takes to set that stuff up. Our first summer camp, we didn't have a practice field yet. It still wasn't ready. So in the dog days of July and August, we would get our pads on and walk all the way across the street to the Northside Baptist to 2 days over there and 95-degree heat. That wasn't much fun. I do vividly one day remember Coach Watson telling us very gravely, very sternly, they just put sidewalks on Siegel Road. I better not find an initial carved in that sidewalk. And to his credit, there were no initials carved. One of our players did fall face first. So one body print, no initials. So we finally came in. We finally got a practice field in the fields that are adjacent to the school. But our first practice wasn't spent doing anything football-wise. It was spent picking up rocks. We scoured the field and picked up rocks. It wasn't long after that they brought out a truckload of sod. A lot of players went out there and sodded the field. And then after that, we had a practice field. Those first 2 years at Siegel, we didn't have a stadium yet. Construction setbacks, lawsuits delayed that. So our first 2 years, we played through TSU on asphalt turf. There senior year, we finally got placed in Colorado, Siegel State Level, and that meant a ton to us players and seniors that started from the get-go. There was eight seniors in my class, so we were still a super young team. Very first winning season, an absolute world champion. That's what the picture's up there from. There is our 6th win of the season. We got invited to one crappie bowl. So the memories that I had here at Siegel were phenomenal. I wouldn't trade them for the world. Being a part of that first team, the first students that walked in this hall stage, has always stuck with me. It's always made me take a little pride in the school. My time at Siegel, my time in sports and athletics, and coaches that are around really helped prepare me for my adult life. Those of you who don't know me, after my football career ended, I found something really special in the fire service. I'm a captain in Company 3, east suburbs, right there in Tissue, Pompey area. We're the busiest company in the city. We see a lot that Virtual has to offer. And part of being a captain, we learn about your leadership classes and whatnot is being a new coach, investing in my men, getting the best out of them, because when it matters the most, we have to play at or perform at a higher level. And so that was easy for me because coming in here, we had a great group of coaches. Most people know this guy here is Mr. Ankers. I know this Coach Ankers. Jay Siegel, I know this Coach Siegel first. Just all these guys, Coach Range, Coach Hester, I could go on and on about the guys that made a commitment to start here first, and they knew it wasn't going to be easy. It's really helped me excel in the fire service. Because I had to grow on as we mentor as coaches, it's helped me get the most out of my crew. The locker room is a lot like the fire station. That's where those camaraderie and relationships are built. That's where we get to know each other at our most personal level. Our training grounds, that's just like the practice field. We need to refine old techniques, implement new ones, see what our measurable objectives are, so we can be the best that we do. And then the emergencies we respond to is a lot like game day. We come with a mindset to win every call we go to, just like we were coming out here for game day. So it's really helped me a lot. And part of that is sacrifice on my family right here, my wife right there. So I say all that to say this, thank you, coaches, thank you, and Siegel Athletics for investing in me. It's truly paid off, and always proud to be a Siegel star. So go Stars.
Okay, moving on, we have the honor now of, there's a couple of inductees. This will be the first in the sport. Bowling is one of those tonight. Now, my assistant coach Fields, he used to be the bowling coach here. I don't know if y'all know bowling. There's a lot more to it than what you see on TV. Just they talk about, I don't know if you know about bowl patterns and all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff, a lot more technical stuff about bowling than what we see. And Ms. Parker is going to come up and introduce Danielle Tedlicki, who I think probably the best we've ever had here. But she figured all those old patterns out and stuff like that. But just look it up. It was all news to me. It's good stuff. Ms. Parker.
First of all, I would like to say that I am super nervous. I'm sorry. So if I skip over my words, you know why. But it is with great pride and honor that I am going to be introducing Danielle Tedlicki as one of the most accomplished athletes here at Siegel High School to the Athletic Hall of Fame. Danielle wasn't just a remarkable bowler, she was a part of our team and a true inspiration to everyone who knew her. During her time at Siegel High School, Danielle built an extraordinary bowling career. She won the TSSAA Bowling State Championship in 2017. She was state runner-up twice in 2016 and 18. She was named the Tennessee Female Bowler of the Year in 2016, 17, and 19. She was also named the Daily News Journal Female Bowler of the Year 2016, 17, and 18. Her talent was recognized early she ran home to get that jacket, brought it back, put it on, zipped it up, and then she came in, before they went to the final, she was in second place. So she went from 19th to second place. And then, right after that, she drove me absolutely crazy by having a pull off, and then winning the state championship. But she believed it was the jacket, but I always believed that it was her belief in herself and her ability, that she was able to overcome any setbacks in the game. She never let her nerves get to her. Sometimes she'd get a little angry, but she would never let her nerves get to her. But Danielle also made me super nervous. I was just talking to her a minute ago about how I would bite all my nails off while I was watching her roll. In fact, every year she would give me a little gift certificate for getting my nails done because she felt so bad for me. I had a stress ball. I still have that stress ball. I was glad there were stress balls on the table. I might take one of those too. But she had this calm and steady, incredibly focused demeanor at every game. Her composure was remarkable. It was just truly amazing to watch how focused she was on that game. We were just talking about how she didn't, like, boys were nothing. She didn't date anybody really until she got this nice young man she's dating now. But bowling was it. That's how she was going to go to college. That's how she was going to pay for college, all that. She was even completely calm when she would bowl a perfect 300. Like it was just any old day, like it was no big deal. She was an anti-fanfare person. She wouldn't even let us cheer. I don't know if y'all have ever been to a bowling tournament, but it's very loud. People cheer. They have chants that they do. Danielle wouldn't let us do any of that because she wanted to be focused. She needed to be quiet. But she was just doing her own thing every time she came up there, even beating all the boys. That was my favorite part. Every boy, she'd just beat them, they'd get mad, and she'd just be like, yeah, that's what you get. Her unique approach as a coach just set me at awe. I've never seen anybody so calm, the opposite of me. But her impact extended well beyond her years at Siegel. She continued to excel at Louisiana Tech, where she earned numerous accolades and helped her team achieve the highest national ranking in their history. And while her list of accomplishments is long, her true legacy is in the quiet confidence that she brought to every game. And so I am honored to welcome her to the Siegel High School Athletic Hall of Fame. She's left an incredible legacy that I know is only the beginning of what she will accomplish. Thank you.
Hey everyone! I just wanted to say thank you so much for nominating me and honoring me for this award. It means so much to me to be inducted into the Siegel High School Hall of Fame. I really hate that I can't be there tonight, but I currently live in Ruston, Louisiana, where I just started my big girl job this past May. I finished up my collegiate career at Louisiana Tech University this past April. It really is bittersweet that it's over, but I'm forever thankful for all the memories and times that I have had here. I would not be where I'm at today without Siegel High School. I am forever in debt to this school. They have continued to support me throughout my collegiate career, and they definitely supported me throughout my high school career. I just want to thank everyone who supported me, and it means so much to me to be inducted into the Siegel High School Hall of Fame. I hate that I can't be there tonight, but I just want to pop in and say thank you so much, and I'm going to congratulate everyone else who got inducted tonight. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Let's see. Kevin Sloan's going to come up, introduce his son. I had the pleasure of coaching his other son in baseball, so this is a top-notch family, but it is another first. I had to double check, but I do believe this is the first swimming inductee. So I'm going to invite Kevin up here and introduce his son to you.
First of all, thank you, Larry and Rick, for this honor. They put out an extreme effort to locate us. Kathy and I have, in the past few years, moved to Jackson. We lived in Murfreesboro for 20 years, and moving certainly adds an amount of perspective to one's life. And we realized how fortunate we were to have had our children go through this school system and be exposed to the teachers that they were exposed to while they were here. So from Kathy and I, thank you very much for the coaching and the mentoring that Sam, as well as our son received from Siegel. It's been priceless to their lives. It's an honor as a dad, obviously, your son. I can stand up here probably all night. I've got notes, so Kathy said I'd write it down so I wouldn't drag on and on. Oscar, I want you to know too, I know how to treat my wife to a good night on special occasions. It's her birthday tonight, so I thought, Siegel Hall of Fame induction, what tops that, right? So, congratulations to all the athletes. Everybody has a story. And my good friend Mike that's here tonight will tell you that I love a good story. Each of us, in our own ways, have good stories. That brought us here, that shaped who we were, that formed us in our formative years. And Sam's story is nothing short of spectacular from a dad's point of view. You never know what small moments in your life are going to lead to such specific outcomes and dramatic outcomes. And Kathy and I were reminiscing when we found out that Sam had been inducted into the Hall of Fame and elected to this, and I appreciate the committee. And we were thinking about Sam and his life, and it was pretty evident looking back that Sam was born to water. As a young child, at 3 years old, we were living in Clarksville at the time, and they had community pools all over the place. And we would take the kids and play in pools and stuff like that. And Sam, at 3 years old, said, "Daddy, I'm going to go off the high dive." I'm not talking the little 1 meter board, I'm talking the 3 meter board, And I looked at this 3-year-old boy, and I was like, "That's not going to happen." And he's like, "No, I want to go, Daddy, I want to go, Daddy." So I told lifeguard, he wants to jump, I'll go in first. And I barely came up out of the water, and Sam was almost on top of me. And from that, I think Sam always loved the water, and then we went on a vacation haphazardly to the Gulf one summer. And I'm sitting out there like most dads at the condo pool watching Sam swim with a little boy. And he's having a big time, he's made a friend, he's 7 years old at this time, and this dad, who was probably on the same duty that I was, watching the kid make sure they don't drown, looks over at me and he goes, "Hey, who's your kid swim for?" And I looked at him like he had 3 eyes. I'm like, I guess he swims for himself. What do you mean? And he goes, "Well, my son swims for a team in Texas, and he's regional champ there, and your son is just destroying him." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't notice." And he goes, "You need to take that boy home and find him a swim team." So we drive home. I believe Kathy and I were also talking. Sam's class of 2011, I think, for us who lived in Murfreesboro, was the first class that went all the way from K through 12 in the Siegel system. And so we come back, and Sam's in Siegel Elementary. There's a flyer that they pass out that day for a swim team. Now, my family will also tell you I'm not a man who believes in just coincidence. I believe that we have a creator and a God who is intentional in our lives, and that things do not happen by chance. And so there was a purpose for Sam's phone to get that flyer at school. When we take it to practice, it's Friday, and I was a baseball player, right? I knew nothing about swimming, other than I watched it in the Olympics for 4 years. And so he goes to tryouts, and I sit there, and he's having fun, laughing and smiling, and I walk over to the coach, and I'm like, "So, what do you think?" And he's like, "That boy needs to be in the water." And I was like, "Okay." Little did we know that little flyer and that one tryout drastically impacts Sam's life for the next 15 years. Sam's life here at Siegel, predominantly from 7 years old all the way up through college, was everyday practice. We found out quickly with swimming, unlike some sports, you don't take breaks. They don't know anything about breaks in swimming. Like we thought, okay, season of swimming, and then it turned into a short course, a long course. And we picked Sam up from school, and he'd do his homework in the car, and we would drive to Nashville, swim for a club team up there. And And then during the summers, it was 6 a.m. practice followed by 4 p.m. afternoon practice. And for Sam's middle school and high school years, it was 2 days every summer. And the whole time as a father, because as parents sitting out there, realize that the kids that make these sacrifices come with a cost to us too. Not just financially, but there's a sacrifice for the family. And, the whole time as a dad, you're sitting there going, Sam, you having fun? You enjoying this? And the answer is always, yeah, I love it, I love it. And so his opportunities to get to swim for Siegel, the opportunities he was given in the classrooms here at Siegel, the education that he received here at Siegel, allowed Sam to carry on his swimming career past high school. He was recruited by some pretty major programs, but opted to take an appointment at the United States Air Force Academy. Now, I don't know if anybody in this room has any family that's ever gone through a military academy. I'll just say it's the most unique experience as a parent that you can live through. It's not 4 years I would like to have relived, and I don't know what Sam would either. But it was an incredible opportunity. He sailed in the pool at the academy. He survived the academy. I think military graduates would tell you that. And Sam now is currently stationed in Germany, serving in the United States Air Force as a captain. And he's a pilot of a C-130. So Sam is extremely sad that he could not be here to accept the award tonight. He wanted to make sure that everybody understood and knew how much he appreciated the honor and the time that went into selecting him, but he did prepare a video.
Hey everybody, I'm Sam Sloan. Sorry I couldn't be there. I'm currently stationed in Germany, but it means a lot, so thank you for this honor. I love my time at Siegel. The coaches and teachers were amazing, and the lessons that I learned there definitely have served me well in my current career. So again, thank you. It means a lot.
All right, moving on. We're going to invite Cliff Matlock up, former soccer coach here, to introduce Eric Sheldon. Eric was here when the school opened. I was too. If you didn't know, I've been here since we started. Got to know him, enjoyed getting to know him, got to where I truly can call him a friend. Hated him when he left, went to this place up the road. I've forgiven him, I guess, but great guy, great coach, just top notch, another top notch. Everybody's top notch, okay? But Cliff, come on up and introduce yourself.
Big change from 2003. We're both wearing reading glasses now. His wife is trying. He asked his wife who did wearing them better. She said we both look like old men, which I guess kind of the truth these days. But thank you, Mr. Creasy. Thank you, Coach Wine. You guys do an awesome job with this every year. I've been fortunate to be back. So I thank all but one of them because we've had a player go in or a team go in. But it is my distinct honor tonight to introduce Eric Sheldon for the Siegel High School Athletic Hall of Fame. When you look at the Hall of Fame, Hall of Famers is great in their own right, but they also elevate everyone around them. They challenge everyone to be better. They lead by example. Is that every person that's in every Hall of Fame? Not necessarily, but it is Eric Sheldon. Coach Sheldon is first and foremost, he is an educator. He is an outstanding classroom teacher. I know because I taught next door to him for 11 years. Every kid who thought his class was too hard ended up in my class. He had the same demanding standards as a coach. His practices were not easy, just like he was in the classroom. He challenged his players to be the best they could be every single day. And we were both here at the beginning. We kind of ran into each other one summer, that first summer, set up our classrooms, got to talking, and I became one of his assistant coaches. And probably one of the best decisions ever made. But then I realized the challenges that we were going to have. practice over behind the United Methodist Church for 2 years. We had to mow that field with a tractor because the mower wouldn't cut. It was challenging. We didn't have a home soccer stadium here. We had to play at the old MSC by the airport. We didn't have a nice facility over here at Siegel Park that later became our own away from home. That first girls season, we got our uniforms. Well, bless Mr. Nolan's heart. He had never ordered uniforms for a girls team. They were all largest and extra largest. We had one of our best players, little Paige Prescott. She was like 4'11", and her jersey would have been a dress code compliant dress on her. It was down below her knees. So we got our parents together, we ordered a bunch of t-shirts. The first 2 years we played in t-shirts and shorts that were rolled up probably about 5 times for most of these girls to just give them. And there were a couple of wardrobe functions with them, unfortunately. But that first girls season we went 4-6-3. That would be his last losing season here at Siegel. His only losing season. And we were just young. We had one senior. I made sure we had any juniors, maybe 1 or 2. Our best players were freshmen and sophomores. Fast forward a couple of years, we're actually the next year, we made the region tournament. We won the district championship in Cookville on their field. We had a girl, they had a girl that had PK type. I made a poor coaching decision and said she's going to her right. Well, she went and stood right next to the post. Our keeper went and stood right next to the post. Eric looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "She's doing it." Well, the girl got so freaked out, she kicked the ball over the goal and we win. So, save me. I do not want to have to ride home with you if she had made that. But we win this championship. We go to the regions, lose it on a heartbreaking call. We didn't have a lot of refs in postseason. Not that you ever complain on referees, but if you know about soccer, you rarely see 6 seconds called on a keeper. We had that call, they give it call against a free kick, we lose. But the foundation's set. Every year we kept having good players come in. The next year, I think Coach Watson Chadlow made mention this. They laid the sod on the football practice field. We laid the sod on the soccer practice field. We get it down, they come back and dig it back up with irrigation system again. And so we're playing around pumps and stuff. So it was never easy. That first year, 2005, that we got to play at home, we actually had to play in 9 uniforms. So we looked good finally. And that was the first year we made state tournament. We lost to Houston 2-0. People asked me first season. Well, get used to seeing us here because we were going to be a regular there for the next few years. And, that night we were bummed out. You lose in the quarterfinals of state, you go to state in shape. So we go to state in shape, we look out, Paige Prescott once again is on top of the van circle. And we're just like, we're fired. And unfortunately, I don't think Mr. Owen ever found out about that. And he's not here tonight, so he still hasn't. So we knew we had something special started. And Eric was the driving force behind that. So every year, more talent came in, more state tournament appearances. And Eric took pride in trying to build camaraderie amongst the team. He loved team building trips. We got to the point where we were taking on what we call the river trip every year. We do 2 days for a week, then take them on the river. And most years we did the Dakota, which is fun because you're in a big raft with a bunch of other people. Then there was one year he decided he was going to go to Hawaii. I hope you folks know what Hawaii stands for. River Matlock's Death. Because I thought I was going to get my chunky butt on them little fun yaks. Well, Eric ended up saving my life because he had told me all the way in. You always listen to the old guy. His dad said he had one of the inflatables. I was stupid. And so I ended up swapping into an inflatable in mid-river, and he dragged me all the way back to the starting point. So I owe him my life because I'd probably still be on that river right now. But the kids loved it. It was a big bonding experience with the girls. That's something we enjoy doing every single year. Eric also was our team bus driver. He tried to get me on the Graceland, because he was insisting on taking the girls to Graceland. They didn't really want to go, but hey. But then we get halfway there, you realize we're almost out of gas. And if y'all ever been to Graceland, it's not necessarily the best of neighborhoods. So there we are with the same bus trying to find a gas station in Memphis to fill up. And we find one, we pull in, he looks at me and said, "You going to pay?" I said, "No, he's in California, so he was unmarried. We had something to do for him." So, you know, we occasionally leave some players behind because they get anxious and they get ready to get home. Most famously, we left a young lady named Stephanie Parr behind at a place in Chattanooga, got about 10 miles down the road, had to go back and get her. So for the next 6 years or so, the question was, where's Parr every time we got on the bus? Even to the point when she graduated, and he would still say, "Have we got Parr?" So, you know, and that was that type of focus. Especially if the game did not go our way. You know, he was focused on that. It was my job, so I guess I failed, to get the players on the bus. But the 2008 season is going to be one that's always going to stand out. That was the state championship. And to date, Siegel High School is the only girls team to win a girls soccer state championship. And that season actually started out rough. We had 2 players leave the first day of practice. First morning, 2 starters. Unfortunately, one of them daddy brought her back for the evening practice. And we got it sorted out, which thank goodness because we needed her. But, you know, that 2008 season is so special, it still stands in our minds. You know, it's one of those things, the memory I'll always have, game day. We're taking the bus across the bridge there, we're playing GPS in Chattanooga. And we've got Eminem, Lose Yourself blaring. Every single person on that bus will sing that song, including him, air drumming, as he goes across the bridge. And we had never, ever beaten Brentwood. We beat them that day 2-1. You know, it's funny, Franklin and Brentwood, we couldn't beat them regular season, but Eric never lost to them in Chattanooga when it counted. So, you know, you look at his career record, 181, 74, 29. Pretty solid record. And you tend to forget, too, he also had 81 wins as the boys coach before he so thoughtfully passed along to me. So, you know, you look at the legacy Eric left. You know, he had 6 regular season district titles, 7 district tournament titles, 8 region titles, 8 state tournament appearances, 1 championship and 1 runner-up. That's a pretty solid resume in baseball. He also had 19 players named All-State during this time. We also had 3 or 4 academic All-Americans. And we had several teams win national academic awards through the National Soccer Coaches Association. So they were pushing the classroom as well as on the playing field. So, Eric Shelton, very deserving to be in this Hall of Fame. And he'd be in this Hall of Fame either as an educator or as a soccer coach, because he deserves both. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Coach Eric Shelton.
Thank you, Coach Matlock. My daughter said I look like Bigfoot. So, okay. This is my son, Kate, and he said he would like to say a couple words, so I'm going to let him have the mic for a second. If you want. Okay.
So his practices were hard, and sometimes his girls didn't want to be there, and boys. But even though some of the girls didn't want to be there with the boys, they had an opportunity that some people didn't have. And so he told his girls this: you have an opportunity that some people don't have, and that's very special, because I feel like he has been doing soccer for a long time, and
All right, I'm gonna try to get through this as well. I sometimes get misty-eyed when I talk about the fall of Rome, so let's see if we can get through this speech. Thank you. What a humbling experience. I have a lot of people to thank for this honor. It does seem a little bit strange to be standing up here as a Hall of Fame inductee when I'm only about halfway through my coaching career. I'm not sure I'm going to have a job after Matlock let out all of those secrets about me, so hopefully this isn't being broadcast anywhere. But for the next few minutes or so, I'd like to share a little bit with you about how I got this moment. I would never have made it this point without incredible support and role models. My greatest supporter of all time is my mother. She never missed one of my games as a player and made it to most of my games as a coach. It was her support that gave me, that allowed me to create the self-confidence that would help me navigate many difficult situations, both professionally and personally. My grandfather, Oscar Harrisfield, granddad was a football coach and principal at Lawrence County High School. Later, he was the head of the Tennessee Preparatory School. He taught me the importance of building relationships. I'll always remember going out in public with my granddad and having former students come up and say hi and share a story. My brothers, Andy and Adam, for helping me to develop a competitive spirit. My children, Layla and Kate, for their unconditional love. Regardless of the outcome of the game, it's always a highlight getting a hug from them after the game. And finally, for my wife, Jane, the amount of extra work that she has to take on to allow me to pursue my profession is immense. I really don't have enough words to express my gratitude for all the extra responsibilities that fall on your plate while I'm coaching. Coaches' wives never get the recognition that they deserve, and being a parent can feel like a thankless job while you're in the middle of transporting kids to practices, to recitals, monitoring homework, making sure kids are fed, and tending to their emotional needs. It's easy for someone to get lost in that world, but you handle it with grace. You're the most courageous person I've ever met. I admire you, I thank you, and I love you. This community is my home. I grew up just down the road off of Cherry Lane, when much of this land was used as pasture land for cattle. My father coached my athletic teams throughout my childhood, which contributed to my desire to pursue this career. I still love to hear my friends tell stories about encounters that they and their families shared on its teams. My coaching career started here in Murfreesboro. As a high school senior, me and my best friend, Dean Whiteside, took on a recreational team, and I've been hooked ever since. Dean and I both cried at the end-of-year banquet that year, and not much has changed since. Later, as a student at MTSU, I was able to get my first taste of high school athletics and coaching as an assistant to Jeff Martin at my alma mater, Oakland High School. It's doubtful that I would be here today, if not for the wins that we achieved on the soccer field. Success, when measured in wins and losses, is defined in part by luck, and I choose to define luck as the intersection of hard work and opportunity. The value of hard work has always been a constant in my house growing up. My dad, Harold Shelton, instilled this in me at an early age. I can't think of anyone that works harder than my father. Money didn't come easy, and Dad would take on lawn mowing, painting, and any other job to support our passions. From him, I learned that if something's worth doing, it's worth doing well, and that there is no substitute for hard work. While a good work ethic is a common trait for successful coaches, hard work alone does not lead to trophies. There are many coaches in high school athletics that have put in countless hours of work, that have made extraordinary personal sacrifices, and that have maximized the potential of their athletes and teams, yet their winning percentage does not reflect their efforts. Opportunity plays a big role in why I'm standing here today. Coaches officials in large part are only as good as the players that they have to work with. The players that I've had the opportunity to coach never cease to inspire me. What separates a good player from a great player? I think it starts with one question. What percentage of your potential do you want to reach? The greatest players acknowledge, accept, and embrace the discipline, sacrifice, and work that goes into the journey of self-actualization. While I hope to instill some of these traits in my players, oftentimes I find myself driven to be better because of the examples that they provide me. In the early 90s, Oakland High School had an inspiring leader named Ken Nolan. Mr. Nolan was an assistant principal at Oakland High when I graduated in '92. As my tenure at MTSU was nearing the end, I began my student teaching placement, and I was placed under the supervision of Ray Hughes. I managed to impress Mr. Hughes while managing student teaching at Riverdale and being an assistant coach across town in Oakland. Mr. Hughes confided in me that his granddaughter, Cindy Newberry, was a promising soccer player, and he wanted me to coach her. Mr. Hughes also shared with me that he had a connection with the future principal of Siegel High School, Ken Nolan. I'm not sure what leverage he had on Mr. Nolan, but his words went a long way, and I found myself as a first-year head coach at a brand new school. So incredibly thankful for the willingness of Mr. Nolan to take a chance on me. Taking chances on others can be a risky endeavor, though, and it doesn't always work out. When Siegel opened, I was assigned a room next to Cliff Matlock. When in college at Tennessee Tech, Matlock served as an athletic trainer. We spent a lot of time in each other's classrooms, and on Matlock's desk we had a picture of the Tennessee Tech soccer team, which drew my attention. At this time, I was desperate for help. I mean, really desperate. So I took a chance, and I asked Cliff to join our team. It was one of the best decisions of my coaching career. Our players affectionately refer to us as Eeyore and Piglet. I'll let you figure out which is which. We traveled the state together from Memphis to Knoxville. We rafted or floated rivers together. We served as therapists to our team. We won multiple trivia competitions over pizza and capped it off with one of the most improbable runs in state tournament history. I'm forever grateful for my friendship with Matlock and for his dedication to the soccer program. Cliff had a quote, "We are good people." You're a good person, Cliff. Thank you, Siegel High School, for this recognition. I humbly accept this honor for all the coaches, especially those in secondary sports, that do not get the same funding, attention as the major sports. Your hard work in this profession is meaningful, regardless of the wins and losses. Keep up the good work. And a final thank you to the incredible soccer parents that supported our efforts throughout the years. Athletic success is a family commitment, and without the buy-in of parents, success is much more difficult. I often use your examples to guide me through the journey of parenthood. Lastly, thank you to my players. It's with you that I have shared the biggest moments of my life. We've celebrated victories on the field, we've cried together after defeats. You were with me on my wedding day. You held and cared for my children when they were little. Watching your life story unfold is incredibly special for me, and I'm so glad to have been a small part of your story. And you are such a big part of who I am today. Thank you.
All right, one more to induct, and we've had athletes and we've had coach now, and we all know it takes much more than just athletes and coaches and administration to make an athletic program a school successful. You've got to have community support, people from the community, and Jim, he did coach a little bit here. He's been here at every basketball game that I can ever remember. I'm sure he hadn't missed many. He missed even two. He's missed two. And all these years, so it takes everybody. we're going to have his daughters, Jessica and Amy, come up and introduce Jim Burns.
Devoted, reliable, consistent, mentor, passionate, hype man, zealous, epic, caring, loyal, genuine.
Now, enough about us. Let's talk about our dad. If you don't know us, we're Jessica and Amy, and we have the privilege to call Jim Burns our father.
Coach Carrie Green said it best when asked what's one word to describe our dad. Loyal. But she didn't stop with just one word. Jim is as genuine as they come. He is always helping anyone he meets. He loves his family more than anything. He's kind, compassionate, and again, loyal.
This is just a glimpse into what he has been to so many people, including Siegel Nation, over the years.
He demonstrated helpfulness when first getting involved with Siegel softball. He helped with practices, off-season games, taking care of the field, and so much more.
He demonstrated kindness through his words and actions. You would never know if he was having a tough day because when he was around you, you mattered more. He was there to raise you up, hold you accountable, and share a smile or a joke to make your day.
He demonstrated compassion through the way he spoke to athletes, coaching staff, and parents. He truly took time to get to know the people. He asked questions and was genuinely interested in what you had to say.
So for nearly 20 years now, our dad has encountered so many people that love Siegel High. He has shown his love, compassion, dedication, trust, and consistency while being the best hype man that Siegel Nation has ever seen, and safe to say, will ever see.
So please help us congratulate the man, the myth, the legend, our dad, Jim Burns, on this amazing day.
How in the heck am I supposed to follow that? I'd like to thank the staff from Siegel High School, Mr. Creasy and Coach White, for nominating me for this award. I would also like to thank the two most amazing daughters that Dad could ever hope for that heartfelt introduction. Jessica and Amy, your daddy loves you. Lastly, I would like to thank my beautiful wife and absolute love of my life, Renee, who has been by my side for over 40 years. Your husband loves you. In my working career of 47 years with the Kroger Company and as chairman of the board of the Tennessee Grocers Association, I've been lucky enough to receive several awards and recognitions. It's nice to be recognized for the things that you do in your work life. However, this award means more to me than all of those put together. As the song by Dirk goes, find something you love and call it work. I definitely was able to do that with my career with Kroger. And while your job is very important, I've always thought the really important stuff happens after you clock out. Renee and I got our girls involved in sports very early in their young lives. We both strongly believe that organized sports provide life lessons that serve young people well in all aspects of their life. Things like teamwork, discipline, loyalty, respect, character, and dedication are all traits that they learn on the ball field. And these traits have served them well in their adult lives today. They started playing softball around 5 or 6, I think. We were able to coach their teams, and we traveled all over the state with them in tournaments. They continue to be heavily involved in athletics through middle and high school. They are both extremely successful in life today with great careers and also children of their own. I truly believe that organized sports and the things they learn from them have played an important role in the amazing young women that they have become. And I cannot wait until we are able to watch Brindley Marie, Patrick James, My grandson to be named later, on the ball field or basketball court. And we cannot wait to continue to watch Jessica and her husband Brandon, who played football here at Siegel, and Amy and her husband Pat, who played football in Virginia, teach them the lessons that they have learned from organized sports. I think that is really why this award means so much to me. I was really kind of embarrassed when Coach White called me to let me know that I was being inducted. I said, "You gotta be kidding." I mean, the real Hall of Famers are the terrific student athletes and coaches that are being recognized here tonight. I just announced starting lineups, played music, and tried to get Siegel Nation excited. If anything I did in all my years of announcing here at Siegel had an impact on just one student athlete in a positive way, then I count my worst success. In closing, I would just like to say to all the parents here tonight that have kids that play organized sports, thank you. It matters. It matters to your kids now, and the experience will matter to them as they grow into adults. Those here tonight that have really young kids, please do not let your career keep you from having a game of catch in the front yard or shooting some hoops on the driveway before dinner. That is the important stuff in life. That is the stuff your kids will always remember, and that's the stuff that matters. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm going to wrap this thing up very quick. Give me something from church. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Greg Wine. I'm an athletic director here at Siegel High School. And 7 years ago, I took an idea of Mr. Creasy, and he let me run with it. And it's been incredible, the time that I've been able to do this and what he's allowed me to do. I think some of my favorite times of the year is when the committee finishes our voting in of who's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And I get to go make those phone calls. They're incredible phone calls. Oscar saying, "Coach, you caught the wrong person," saying, and Jim the same way. You guys that are in here tonight, you're in here for a reason. You guys are huge parts of our school that continue to be talked about. These banners in this gym, many of you guys are responsible for them. You guys are part of our school, and these banners are here because of what you left in your legacy, the relationships that you formed, and the memories that you made here. Athletics has played an important part in your lives, and I know I've been around it long enough, and you guys that are coaches in here, you know these things, that athletics teach you valuable skills. Teamwork, perseverance, discipline, critical thinking skills, hard work, cooperation, and many, many more. I know these things are true because I've seen where so many of you have taken your lives. On these banners, there's some incredible people up there. There are teachers, there are nurses, there are microbiologists, biochemical engineers, volunteers, missionaries, ministers, doctors, people in finance, military, and attorneys. That's just to name a few. Donna Reese here tonight are high achievers, not only in athletics but in life. My congratulations to all of you guys. Your stories and achievements will always be talked about in the halls. Oscar, you need to see Miss Martin. She's still got a homecoming vote from you from high school that you probably need to answer to, Jim. See, their stories are always talked about in the hallways. Chad, you're spoken so highly of around here, it's unbelievable. Jim, your dedication to our school is unmatched. Eric, precedents that you set here, Katie's trying to follow your footsteps. Those are big steps to follow.
life she's beginning to create in Ruston. And then what a great story. I never knew Sam while I was here, and being able to talk to Kevin, I never got to talk to Sam because he's over in Germany, but just the things that I've learned about him and his service to our country and what he's doing for us. Thank you, Kevin, and your wife for coming up here from Jackson and being here tonight. We appreciate that. You guys are always welcome here. And you guys make us proud to be superstars. And I can't express that to you enough. Our halls and our doors are always open to you. You guys have a great night. We appreciate you guys. Everybody be safe. Thank you very much. In Ruston. And then what a great story. I never knew Sam while I was here, and being able to talk to Kevin, I never got to talk to Sam because he's over in Germany, but just the things that I've learned about him and his service to our country and what he's doing for us. Thank you, Kevin, and your wife for coming up here from Jackson and being here tonight. We appreciate that. You guys are always welcome here. And you guys make us proud to be superstars. And I can't express that to you enough. Our halls and our doors are always open to you. You guys have a great night. We appreciate you guys. Everybody be safe. Thank you very much.